Why teach about population and demography? Why teach about population and demography? Planet Earth is the only planet known to support life of any kind. The position of our Earth in the solar system, its narrow range of temperature, atmosphere, soils supporting agriculture, water and solid, liquid, and gas-sustaining life forms, plants and animals is unique among the thousands of planets known to exist. Everything we eat, drink, wear, including my map tie, depends on the diverse life forms and resources that sustain us. Indeed, the abundance of resources has allowed humans to become the most dominant, impactful species on the planet. Some argue that humans impact the planet more than the planet impacts humans. What is clear is that because this impact goes both ways, teaching about human population is necessary and cuts across numerous disciplines. Its human geography tradition is deep, but demography and behavior are also studied in sociology, economics, business marketing, psychology, design, engineering, and other subjects. It is taught at multiple scales, from individuals, small groups, and regions to the global community. The places that humans live are studied by numerous disciplines as well, from housing to the evolution of cities and more. Rural areas sustained livelihoods through agriculture and grazing as people emerged from hunting and gathering. A town has unique traits but also shares characteristics with towns halfway around the world. These communities change in population, demographic makeup, and physical size, sometimes on a daily basis. The daytime population of a community, for example, versus its nighttime population, and those can be mapped across a season, the tourist season, or over centuries. Some cities date from ancient times, Damascus, Jericho, Tehran, while others were fishing villages and rather small fishing villages just a half a century ago, such as Abu Dhabi and Dubai. Other cities are in steep decline or have long vanished. Cities are impacted by local economies, climate, land use, political and economic forces. Cities are the source of much of the world's manufacturing, art, and innovation. Humans have always been on the move. From daily commuters to global migration, humans rarely sit still. This movement, along with the propensity of humans to build things, resulted in a transportation set of pathways including roads, railroads, canals, utility lines, flight paths, shipping lanes, and the information superhighway. This infrastructure has a deep, lasting impact on the planet and on human behavior. And in turn, these objects are impacted by the physical environment, from local freeze-thaw cycles to the disruption from continent-sized typhoons or hurricanes. Given these important interconnections, studying population should not be ignored. While conservation practice is at what may be an all-time high, over 8 billion humans consume natural resources at what many consider to be an unsustainable rate. To chart a more resilient, sustainable future requires students, the future decision makers in society, to understand population dynamics and its associated ramifications. Furthermore, topics of population are better understood with knowledge of many other topics that I discuss in my books and in these videos. Climate, natural resources, biomes, behavior, environmental justice, and more. GIS can enhance instruction about population. GIS can enhance instruction about population. People drive land use change, city planning, economics, business, sociology, cultural geography, history, and other disciplines. As this awareness grows, teaching population totals, movement, characteristics is increasing across all levels of education and across multiple disciplines. UN Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs, with population connections include poverty, hunger, health, education, gender equality or inequality, industry innovation and infrastructure, decent work and economic growth, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, and reduced inequalities. The UN book Mapping for a Sustainable World makes a strong case for teaching mapping through population and sustainability. Thus, today is a most relevant time to teach about population, and an incredibly relevant time to teach about population. It is also an exciting time. Instructors have a fascinating, growing set of interactive maps, charts, visualizations, and data sources, in the GIS environment with which to teach. Some population data from national statistics agencies extend back hundreds of years, centuries. Modern population data are published as map layers, graphs, infographics, estimated from satellite imagery, delivered in 2D and 3D formats, with models predicting future populations. Some population information is tied to real-time data feeds and is so detailed that it touches on location privacy, leading some to ask, how much should people be studied? These socially infused conversations enrich classroom discussions about wider issues of data quality and ethics. Tools, maps, and data available to instructors and learners include examining population from country to neighborhood scale, comparing characteristics such as median age and income, examining patterns of population over space and time, using cartograms, choropleth maps, dot density maps, graduated symbol and multivariate maps, relationship maps, scatter plots, and other methods and tools. Population is inherently a spatial topic. Hence, it can be better understood through GIS. Now, in this book that I've written called Teaching Spatial Thinking Through GIS, the population chapter in that book features several useful tools and data. Just as one example, modeling ways of teaching in a GIS environment. These represent only a subset of the ever-expanding tools and data sets available. Instructors and students are encouraged to explore these resources, connecting population studies to other cultural, physical, and social sciences in the context of regions, natural hazards, and economics. How can GIS be used to teach core population and demographics content? How can GIS be used to build skills through inquiry in problem solving and career pathways through the use of the same tools that are being used in the workplace by demographers, city planners, and others that use GIS every day on the job? You'll discover that in that book, Teaching Spatial Thinking with GIS, and also in other videos of mine and in lessons that I've got online.